Hi everyone. Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Hi. Hi Selvarasan. How are you? So today I'm speaking with my friend Ashley, who's a super talented woman, all-rounder really. And we met during the shoot of Sabash Naidu. And she was dancing on the film. She's an incredible dancer. She's also like a badass drummer. But what I loved most about when we first met, she wasn't a mum, and I kind of saw her become a mum, her pregnancy, and then when her son Zephyr was born, and I started following like all the mummy baby stories on Instagram, I was really, really amazed. I often looked at her and said, I want to be a mum like her whenever I'm a mum. So I thought that in this situation where lots of people during quarantine are stuck at home with their kids, or rather your kids are stuck with you, and you're running out of ideas and what to do and how to handle it, how to like not feel guilty about being annoyed sometimes, I thought that it would be good to chat with Ashley, and we're going to check. Waiting for Ashley. Yeah. Hello. Hi, Ashley. I don't hear your music.
Hey, I have to jump in here somehow. It's not always mom life, right?
Yeah, it's not.
My husband took the kid outside for this moment, so I have to bask in my alone time.
Yes, I don't know if you saw the bit where I said you shouldn't feel guilty if you want to have to take time away for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Exactly.
you so much for joining me today.
Of course, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? So for everyone, Ashley and I are like always Instaing each other, and I'm always like, "Oh, Zephyr is so cute. Zephyr is her son," but we've never actually like spoken in so long. Where we've just
I know.
had, like,
It's
normal.
probably been, I haven't seen you in maybe 4 years.
It's probably probably 4 years.
Yeah, and I was actually, I don't even know if you know, but I was actually pregnant when we filmed the movie here in LA.
No! You were doing all that heavy dancing?
Yeah, no one knew.
Zephyr. Oh my god!
So Zephyr is in the movie too.
Yeah, Zephyr is in Sabash Naidu. We don't know when it'll ever come out, but Zephyr, that's his debut.
But that's his debut. Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. So I wanted to start by asking you.
Of course.
Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah, I lost you for a second, but I hear you. We're good. Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to ask you, how was it for you, especially after being someone who's been so busy on tour, dancing with like some of the best talents, being a musician yourself? How was the transition to motherhood?
The transition was rough. I've always wanted kids, but my pregnancy was not planned. My husband and I were going to try to have a kid the following year, and Zephyr just decided to show up a little early. So that was just a bit of a shock. And in the industry I work in, it is quite difficult to, be pregnant and still work. So, the transition, I decided not to tell anybody for about 5.5 months, and I worked
sneaky.
Yeah, I worked really hardcore. Poor kid, I was like sucking him in, like wearing all the Spanx and sucking him in.
Wow.
So I actually performed on a television show here in the States called Greatest Hits, with Montel Jordan and a couple of different celebrities, and they had me wear like a 2-piece for the for the costume, and I was like, oh gosh, I have to tell somebody. So that was kind of my last job. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And then career-wise, I had to think very quickly of what I was going to do for money, because my whole career was dance and entertainment. So so that transition was quite hard, but such a blessing in disguise, because I was able to start. I also own a dog hotel here in Los Angeles. So I actually
did not know that.
Yeah, I actually created that during my pregnancy. And that's been up, doing really well. And yeah, and then I also build tiny houses. So
Yes, I
we have,
know tiny houses. So Ashley does
yes,
like a number of things. I think you're one of the most crafty women.
thank
Like,
you.
you really are. So she makes tiny houses and people come stay. Am I right?
Correct. Yeah, we haven't had anyone from India yet, but we've had people from all over the world come and stay. Come on, let's go. And yeah, they're here on our property. We have a ranch in Los Angeles. And yeah, so that transition was scary, but a blessing because now I own multiple businesses because of it.
That's amazing.
Thank
So
you.
I want to ask you in this quarantine time, I mean, it's been a bit like scary for all of us. Like none of us really expected it and,
Absolutely.
you know, at all. And I think in a way it's been amazing for me spiritually, I'd say, because it's made me really have a lot of gratitude and be thankful and be, you know, appreciative of the time we have and us who are safe and healthy.
Yes.
But again, it's like I've seen in your videos have like a backyard and you have stuff to do, but I'm like literally in an apartment with a cat.
Yes.
And
I have many
like,
friends.
yeah, and I was like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? But weirdly, it's been the most creative time. And when I talk to my friends who have kids and I see other people are like, what do we do with them? I always think that you were already ready for quarantine life because I was just telling some of my friends who are moms today, I said, Ashley would like teach Zephyr numbers and alphabets in the most creative ways. So
thank you.
Was it difficult quarantine or you just like continuing what you normally do with Zephyr?
Well, I live on Pinterest. One of my mom friends yesterday called me Pinterest Polly. I've always lived on Pinterest. I love it. So in a way, that transition was easy. I just, what's difficult for me is just not having a second to breathe because he's here all day and he's not in school. And
yes.
what I
that's
found
something moms can really relate to. Like as much as you love your kid,
yeah,
having them there all the time could be.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to lock yourself in the bathroom, you know, and eat some chocolate or drink some wine sometimes. But what's really helped me is prepping the night before, because when I don't, my whole day, I get really depressed and overwhelmed. So if I prep the night before, maybe like a science activity, a busy activity, some learning things, and I'm all about things that take up like a long time. So
a long time to do, a long
to
time to make.
For him to do. Yeah, for him, we made a thing called moon sand, and it's just flour and baby oil mixed together. And he's been playing with this for 3 days straight for hours at a time. So we're good. Yeah, so prepping the night before so that the next day I kind of have stuff just to continually give him, especially with a 3-year-old, you have to be 10 steps ahead of them because they get bored very easily.
Yeah, so I guess kids get distracted really, really easily. I mean, humans do, and then kids do it better than us, really.
Yes, and I was getting really frustrated, and I have to remember he's only 3. So if there's any moms listening out there, remember your child can usually, on average, sit still double their age. So he can only sit still about 6 minutes, like working on something, because he's only 3.
I love this math. I love it.
Yeah, so I mean, don't feel bad if you're like, why is my kid not wanting to sit here for 10 minutes and learn? You know, it's very difficult. So don't be so hard on them. Remember that, you know, if they're only 3 or maybe they're 5, you maybe only get 10 minutes out of them working on something, you know, intellectual. So the rest, try to do learning through play. We had a fly swatter, you know, the thing to swat the flies.
Yeah.
I made a big poster board with his letters, and I put paint all over him, and I had him swat his letters, and the paint exploded. So that was a way for him to learn his letters and like just attack something, because he's such a boy and he just wants to punch and attack everything. So just coming up with creative ways like that. Pinterest will save your life. So that helps me.
And I also love that you're really, really, you know, before quarantine happened and there were like little parties. I'm like obsessed, like I'm a full stalker of your stories. So you would have little things for him to put on his clothes or like for a party or a party idea. But you would always say, this cost only this much. So what I really love is you're not being like some really elitist mom who's like, oh, it was lovely when we added some caviar to the pizza. It's not like that. It's
Girl,
like,
I've never had caviar. No.
You know, it's like, this is like very cost effective stuff. So is this again from Pinterest, or do you like go and look for deals in your free time?
Um, I'm I am the queen of buying things on sale. I never buy things full price. So after holidays is my like I wait till everything is like 90% off and I buy it all. I'll clear the
Yes.
shelf, like everything. And I stock up because now that he's in school, I love to do the holiday parties and buy things for all of the kids in his class, but it can get very expensive. And then during this quarantine, looking around your house, like, you know, for moms listening or parents listening, like, what do I have? Okay, I have clothespins over there. Like, what can I do with clothespins? So you can go on Pinterest and type in clothespin crafts and a whole bunch will come up. So,
Yes.
you know, just finding, save your
Or
toilet
foil
paper
from your
rolls.
kitchen or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Save the toilet paper rolls. There's a million things you can do with toilet paper rolls.
We in India are not as obsessed with toilet paper rolls because we have bum sprays, right?
Ah. So you're not in the pandemic buying all the toilet paper like they are here?
No. We just don't get it by like, are they going to eat it? Like,
I don't get it either. I haven't bought, I just have some in the garage. Like I'm like, we don't need that much. Like,
no.
I don't know. But
I mean, how much do you poo?
Yeah, and I don't. That's one thing we're still joking about here in the States because we're like, why? I think everybody just bought it because everyone else did. It was just like
it was like if Fred and so are buying it, we should buy it as well. Yeah, exactly.
It's great. And there still is none.
I think the amazing thing you said is like, okay, so like in England or in America or Australia, you have like holiday season and then you have like the 90% off. And I think people in India also don't realize like post Diwali, like a festival, or like after summer vacation, just like flight tickets get cheaper post holiday. Like you get these sales, right? And the thing is that I guess the trick is to buy it in advance and just stock it somewhere versus going and looking for it when you have to look for it. Am I right?
Right. Yeah. And don't become a hoarder. Don't just buy anything you won't use. But you know, if you have children that you like doing holiday stuff with, or just parties or anything, and you see it on sale, buy it. It's just, you know, I have one little closet storage. That's all of my stuff that is holiday that I don't use. But like the next year it comes around, I open it. It's like a store. I'm like, oh my gosh,
I have all of this stuff.
I've never seen this stuff before. So yeah, that helps a lot.
I also think you're one of the like very rare women who are like, you know, like the tool guy.
Yeah, I do. My whole garage is
how
tools.
is she working so comfortably with that electric drill and that? So, I mean, I don't know, like if I'd be like that, like, you know, being able to drill and whatever, but is it really hard to be able to make these things yourself?
Well, I was fortunate. My dad, growing up, he has his own flooring business. So he installs floors and he can build anything from the ground up. So when I was young and I wanted some black and white tile on my floor, he gave me the tile and the saw and he said, install it yourself if you want.
That is so amazing, because in India, because it's such a labor intensive place,
yes,
I think most people don't know how to do their own plumbing or cleaning in terms of like getting out grout or like, you know, stuff like that. And then I learned that living in America and living in London, I'm like, oh, you mean I can actually pull the drywall out?
Right. Yeah. And YouTube is so great now, so accessible. And I started small just with like a drill, and now I have, you know, everything. I have so many tools. And it's not that hard. Once you learn how to do it, of course it takes a lot of practice, but it's so like fulfilling and rewarding when you can build something yourself. So and saves a lot of money.
To follow Ashley's page to like understand really what I'm talking about. So now you gotta like buck up and do all these activities, because I've said it to everyone.
Yes, and then tag me in it. If you guys build some stuff I want to see, follow me. And then if you're a mom, follow my mom page. It's at Mom Together.
Come to that. Which after this story, I'll put up a little, after this live, I'll put up a little story with your mom page so that all the moms can like go and like totally chill over there. And I wanted to ask you, so when you do need alone time at this time, there are, you know, there are times I think where moms and dads feel guilty, like, I just really need a minute, like I love my kid. So what do you do then? Do you give him an activity that he really gets into and then then there's also like how much time do you take for yourself. So how do you balance that?
Absolutely. I try to prep the night before to give him activities that will take up a long time. And my
Sorry, I lost you for a second. Yeah.
It's okay. People were calling. My husband tours, so oftentimes I'm alone for months at a time with him, which can get very overwhelming. But I'm very strict about, we're very routine and very strict, especially about bedtimes. So at 7:30 p.m., no ifs, ands, or buts, he's asleep. So I can have my time from 7:30 till 11 or whatever alone. So I'm just like very strict about bedtimes and even nap times. And I know older kids don't nap, but we still set that you have to go in your room, door closed, quiet time for an hour. So
yeah, whatever quiet time means to you. Yes.
Whatever quiet time means, I'm very strict about that. And he's learned to like it, whether he sleeps or not. For nap time, he's in there quietly in his room, and I can either sleep or get stuff done. And, so I'm very strict about those rules and guidelines.
Sure. Amazing. And I wanted to know, in a situation like this, with this whole pandemic happening, and Zephyr's really young, but I'm sure he's asked, what's going on? Why am I not going to school?
This is breaking my heart. Yeah.
And how do you explain? I mean, maybe if my kid was maybe 7, 8, or 10 years old, I'd be able to say, this is what it is. But I guess when they're younger, it's like, it's a bit harder to like explain. So how did you go about that?
We're still trying to,
but you don't want to like be like the tooth fairy came, or
Right, exactly. Yeah, we're trying. It's very difficult because he's 3. We're still trying to explain it, and it's been 17 days now that we've been on lockdown here. So he started crying. We were singing "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star," and he just started bawling. And he's like, "That's a sad song. I miss my friends." Like, it's finally really hitting him, and he keeps asking. We're trying to tell him that some people are sick, and we don't want to get sick. So we're trying to tell him. So he keeps asking, are my friends still sick? Can I see them? So it's been so difficult. I've definitely cried many times because it breaks my heart to see him so sad.
Yeah, because even if you explained, it's still not going to process in the same way.
Right. He just doesn't understand why his friends are still sick. Like 17 days later, they're still sick. So we're just trying to keep him super happy here and busy, and just know for ourselves that this is not going to last forever. And we're trying to explain now. He's like a super, like, he wants to wash his hands all the time. Like, he's like, don't cough on me, there's germs. So like, he's kind of understanding that, but it is difficult. So just to explain to your kids that, people are sick and we want to stay safe and keep everybody safe, but it is hard for 3 and under. It's so difficult.
Yes, I can imagine. And how do you continue with the curriculum and what he's supposed to be studying and stuff? Is that a challenge as well? Or
it is. And we actually,
teachers.
Yeah, our school, we go to a Montessori. I don't know if you're familiar with Montessori education.
I was a Montessori kid.
Woo! Yeah, so, but they don't offer...
It's going to turn out amazing or really crazy, you don't know.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And I think my kid's already kind of there. He's super awesome, creative, but like he's all over the place. So we felt Montessori was the right route for us.
Yes.
I'm trying to keep some Montessori things at hand, but that's not my expertise. So at home here, he's getting more of a regular curriculum, and I'm just doing it based upon what I think his age group, or him, maybe not his age group, but he himself will be challenged at, but still have fun. So yeah, we're trying to keep it somewhat Montessori. Our school doesn't offer anything for his age because he's so young. They have the program for the older Montessori kids, but so I'm just trying to keep that, and trying to keep for myself like a number, a letter, a science, a busy project. And don't feel bad during this quarantine if your kids aren't in school and you don't get to it every day. So what? Just like, as long as they're smiling.
Everything is tits up anyway, as they say. So it's
exactly.
Another thing that I really like, you're a very physical person because you're a dancer, you're very fit, you really care about your body, not in vanity but in health, I mean,
Yes.
maybe vanity for all of us, but you know what I mean. So I think that an amazing thing that you do, and I've seen sometimes, is that, whether your kid is like 3 or 13, is to have physical activity with the kids. Because I'm sure when he was at school and with his friends, his playtime physically must have been much more.
Yes. Oh my
Like
gosh.
physical playtime must have been much more. And now how do you like manage that for yours? And even you must have been working out much more with like a proper schedule. So how do you manage that?
You know what's funny? Before quarantine, I never worked out.
No.
Never. Only when I would book a job. I would be like, I booked a job. Okay, let me get in shape and do this job.
Same. There was no discipline of working out every day because I have to.
Right. But during quarantine, I have not worked out so much in 17 days than in my whole life. Like, I'm going to be so fit. It's going to be awesome. But I'm so thankful for all these online classes and people giving their talent and, for free in many cases. It's just such a blessing, and it's kept me. That's also my schedule for the day. Like, okay, at noon, I'm going to do a workout class, or I'm going to do a dance class, and I'm transforming on my Instagram now. You can see I'm transforming our garage into a dance studio, so I can have my space, my mirror. I can lock away the kid.
I saw that. That's amazing. Again, Nifty Deal Central.
Yes, and it cost me nearly nothing.
Amazing. So one of the last questions I want to ask you is, we've done all the mum questions.
Sure.
So I want to say you're such an inspiring woman, and I was just saying before you came on that I look at you and I think, yeah, that's the kind of mom I want to be. And I don't say that equally because I think like most people aren't getting it right. But,
thank you.
I really say that, okay, that's the kind of mom I would love to be. I also think, how do you keep, because I know there are times that are difficult for you, like your partner is touring all the time. He's a touring musician, am I right? So you're alone. And whether you're alone with a kid or alone with yourself, and things can get hard. What is it that motivates you to stay so positive?
Oh my gosh. Well,
first of all, super positive. Like one day you'll put up a story like, oh, F me. And then the next day you're like, I'm fine. And I love that.
I do. I'm blessed. I mean, I have my moments all the time, my dips and my, sad days and depression. I'm very blessed to be able to dig myself out of that quickly. I know some people struggle with that. And that's especially postpartum moms, like before we go into being positive, that's a very real thing. Like postpartum depression is a very real thing. So I am using my village right now. And especially during this quarantine, there's an app called House Party. I don't know if you've heard of it yet.
Yes.
It's awesome. So I'm house partying friends every night.
Everyone is scared though that because they think House Party hacks into your Netflix and Spotify. So I was like, I'm logging out.
Oh, maybe. I'll just get a new account.
We have technology, which is amazing. We need
technology. Yes. And then honestly, his smile every day, just his smile. Like I will say, no matter the days that I just want to I'm so frustrated. There is not a day that goes by that I don't smile because of him. So whether he's like, I want to yell at him or scream at him, or I'm crying, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be a mom. Like he'll make me smile and I'm like, okay, that's all worth it. Like amazing. And the fact that I just have such an amazing, such an amazing village of friends, via Instagram all over the world that are sharing their talents. And that inspires me every day when I see my friends post, new videos. It makes me get off my butt and want to do something more. So, that's why I love Instagram and social media. I think it's a beautiful thing.
I think we're all very blessed to be like able to connect like this.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
I love you.
Thank you. And right after this, in my stories, I'm going to put all the info of Ashley's mom page, and also check out her other stuff where she's dancing like a total hottie.
Yes, and come to LA, and I can't wait to come to India.
Yes, you have to come to India.
Yes, I can't wait. I love you.
Love you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Hi everyone, I hope you loved the chat with Ashley. I did. She's just so positive and fun, and I hope it was helpful. Live.